Good morning, everyone. Um, Excited to be able to share with you again today as we continue looking at some basics of what it means to be Reformed and specifically through the Belgic Confession. This is Article 14, and if you were with us on Sunday, either online or in person, you'll notice that a lot of this wrestles with some of those same questions of the presence of evil in the world and where did that come from and how did that happen. Article 14 is on the creation and the fall of humanity. It says, we believe that God created people from the dust of the earth. He made and formed us in His image and likeness, good and just and holy, able by our own will to conform in all things to the will of God. But when we were in honor, we didn't understand it, and we didn't recognize our excellence. We didn't recognize the state that we were created in, and we subjected ourselves willingly to sin, and consequently to death and to the curse, lending our ear to the word of the devil. For we transgressed the commandment of life, which we had received, and by our sin we separated ourselves from God, who was our true life, having corrupted our entire nature. So we made ourselves guilty and subject to physical and spiritual death, having become wicked, perverse, corrupt in all our ways. We lost all our excellent gifts which we had received from God, and we retained none of them except for small traces which are enough to make us inexcusable. Moreover, all the light in us is turned to darkness, and the Scripture teaches us the light shone in the darkness, and the darkness did not receive it. Here John calls people darkness. Therefore, we reject everything taught to the contrary concerning people's free will, since people are nothing but the slave of sin and cannot do a thing unless it is given to us from heaven. For who can boast of being able to do anything good by ourselves, since Christ says, "No one can come to me unless my Father who sent me draws them"? Who can glory in their own will when they understand that the mind of the flesh is enmity with God? Who can speak of our own knowledge in the view of the fact that the natural person doesn't understand the things of the Spirit of God? In short, who can produce a single thought, since they know that we're not able to think a thing about ourselves by ourselves, but that our ability is from God? And therefore, what the apostle says ought rightly to stand fixed and firm: God works within us both to will and to do according to His good pleasure. For there's no understanding nor will conforming to God's understanding and will, apart from Christ's involvement, as He teaches us when He says, "Without me you can do nothing." There's a lot of questions and a lot of different thoughts about free will and our ability to choose. What this is teaching, and there's all kinds of scripture references that they draw this from, is that in the beginning God created people with the ability to choose good or to choose evil. But from that point on, once we chose evil and we started ourselves down that path, that apart from God's work in us, we're not able to choose anything back from the other direction. That by ourselves we can't consistently choose good. We can't consistently live out that good that we were intended and created for. But it's not the end of the story. It's that God has come and God is at work in us to be moving us back to that other path, to be helping us to live the way that we deep down want to live, the way that we desire the world to work. So it's God who's at work in us to create the will and to create the action to do what God is teaching us to do. One of my professors in seminary would always open us with the weekly prayer from the Anglican Book of Common Prayer. And one of them that stuck out to me because it was just so incredibly reformed was a prayer that contained the line, God, without thee, we're unable to please thee. And it just hits me that without God working in us, we're unable to do those things that honor God, that live into His world and His kingdom. So I hope today that you can see God working in you, that you can feel the Spirit moving you to do those things that bring life back into this world, that bring a little bit of goodness into the lives of people around you. Take care. Grace and peace.